One of the things that we do at Collex Wellness that makes us unique is we focus on big pictures, patterns, rather than individual symptoms. And no better place to show the impact of that in when kids come down with common viruses. You say, well, kids come down with viruses, what's the big deal? Well, there's actually a lot of a big deal, because if we interpret different phases of viruses the wrong way, we easily go down the wrong path and more side effects and more symptoms. So what am I talking about? Viruses, and there's hundreds and thousands of them, always enter our body through the upper airways. They may enter through the nose, they may enter through our mouth or through our eyes. That's where the outside and the inside meet. That's usually how viruses enter. The first phase of a viral illness is a little irritation of the eye, maybe a stuffy nose, maybe a scratchy throat. Nobody ever makes a big deal of it, as they should. The next phase, it has to do with how the virus progresses down our body. We start getting a little bit more cough because now it's going down our respiratory tree. We get a little bit more nauseous. Now it gets our attention. Or my child is feeling nauseous, or they may even throw up. My child is coughing a little bit more. The alarm goes up a little bit. So our impetus for seeking care and going to the doctor, urgent care, ER, gets a little bit more. Next thing you know, the symptoms actually get worse. The stomach pain gets worse because the virus has now reached the intestines. The cough gets more phlegmy and mucousy, and the body aches and the tiredness and the lethargy and the fever pop up. My God, something is horribly wrong. We better go. And if we're looking at traditional medicine, we ask very good questions. What symptoms do you have? I have cough with mucus. I'm having fever. My body aches. And certainly sounds like a terrible infection that we must deal with right away. So this may be antibiotic or this swab and that swab. But guess what happens next, especially in children? They take the medicine eagerly. Now they may have a rash. Or they may have diarrhea. And I see this commonly. Oh my God, my child took this medicine and now he has a rash. Maybe they're allergic to this medicine. I'm not suggesting nobody is allergic, but is the rash related to a natural process of the virus? Just as the virus extends through our body, it may also give us body aches and rashes. Was the rash because of the medicine, or was the rash a natural progress of the viral syndrome? Was the diarrhea a natural progression of the virus, or was it because the antibiotic caused more diarrhea? So what do we do when fever is high and the rash is dramatic, my child is still feeling miserable? I want to go get a second opinion. If I went to urgent care, I may go to the ER. If I went to primary care, I may go somewhere else. And they will give me another medicine. And so the cascade of misery continues until after a couple of days, all of a sudden things get better. And then we say, well, thank God for the last provider, because they gave me the medicine that finally helped. But if we take a step back, we might have realized that things probably would have gotten better on their own. We were just at different phases of the same illness. And the last medicine wasn't necessarily the cure, which just came at the right time, because 2 days later, as the body was shedding and releasing the infection and feeling better, we attribute to feeling better to that last medicine. Knowing about the pattern of viral syndromes, we can now say, tell me about 2 days ago. Yeah, that sniffle. And remember the cough that then became mucousy, and now the tummy pain. You know, there is a connection here. Let's look at the big picture. Let's not leave you in misery. Let's do things that can help you feel better. But we don't have to stop the illness. We just have to moderate it. We have to give you enough relief for you to be able to sleep and nourish and keep hydrated as your body does exactly what is expected to fight through the illness.